Hey guys, happy Sunday. I am just getting back from church. I totally forgot to do one and update the fam and those that care that I'm sending this to that think it's, you know, silly but fun at the same time. I forgot to do something on Friday as far as to kind of update you, which was my fourth day working, and I'm gonna be honest, I was dead tired. They worked me for like every penny on Friday. I was so tired. Like my feet were sore, but I've never experienced where my toes were sore. I don't know what that is. Someone was like, maybe when I'm shifting the weight on my feet, I'm shifting like on my toes. I don't know, but I've never in my life experienced sore toes. Like at first I was like, oh my God, do I have an ingrown toenail? But no, it's both toes, like really all the toes are just like sore. It's the weirdest thing. But anyway, so full week working at McDonald's. Weird thing about it is one person told me to check the schedule to see what I would be working next week. Nothing's populated. I'm even missing like 8 hours, which is strange. And I drove there today after church because it's close to where, I go to church. And it's just, it's interesting seeing things unorganized, and in a corporate world, things can kind of get unorganized as well. So it's kind of like, I guess it's just everywhere. But one of the things that annoyed me today was when I went there to try to see if I was on the schedule, it came across, there's always that one busybody at every job, no matter where you work, that you kind of want to tell them, dude, you're not the manager. But again, I'm trying to be nice. This will be my second week. I guess they were short staffed this morning, but no one called me, or no one thought to call me. No one really knows my position. One person told me I'm in the kitchen. Another person told me that I was actually doing service, which is, I don't even know. But it's like this stigma where sometimes, even, I don't even want to say it's McDonald's, but you're being made to feel bad because of something you were not aware of. And it kind of made me think back to, being in the corporate world. A lot of times you are guilt tripped and made to feel sad or bad about having to take a mental health day or having to take off because your kid is sick. And I just, I really want to break that cycle, give that mentality. And I recognized it, even though this person wasn't even the boss, but I was made in a way. He tried to make me feel bad because I just didn't put on my clothes and show up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which most people would have like shown up, but their time is like goes in on Tuesday. And I know that I'm close to being to overtime because I'm a leader. I think about those things in a way, even though I'm not in a leader role. I don't want anyone to get in trouble for having overtime because I'm just showing up. Or you show up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is the worst feeling in the world, to be turned away. That is painful in itself, unless you were already planning to be up in the morning. One of the things that they talked about today in church is you can't rebuke and receive at the same time. And sometimes you have to be willing to humble yourself almost as if you were a child, to receive certain blessings. And I'm going into this week thinking the same thing. I have I have two that are already, confirmed interviews, and I have another one. So that'll be 3 interviews this week. Two of them will be the second interview with the actual hiring leader, and one of them is with the recruiter. And I'm kind of excited about each of them. I'm nervous and scared because I've had other interviews before for transparency and didn't make it to the second part. And I'm studying interviewing. There's a couple roles that I've applied for that I know that I meet the criteria for, which is the same song and dance for a lot of people right now. And it's crickets. I haven't heard anything. I haven't received, we went with another candidate, just, nothing. And I checked the job dashboard, where you apply, if they have that. I encourage anyone to do that. And I still haven't heard anything. So I will say this, keep up the fight. But also, one of the things which happened to me Saturday for transparency, I'm not going to get on here and cry, because if you have time to sit here and cry on video, I feel like, girl, you need something else, is as a Black woman, my mom always taught me that we don't necessarily have time to be depressed and wallow. We have to continue to move forward, which I somewhat agree with. Yeah, you have to move forward, but the person that has had to unfortunately take a lot of counseling sessions and get rid of a lot of, traditional toxic things that were passed down. I know my counselor would say, it is okay to stop and feel emotions. And Saturday was like one of those days where I felt a lot of emotions, but it wasn't that I was sad. It was just, I'm frustrated. And being frustrated can be in itself hard to cope with. And I think it's okay. Don't feel like you're letting yourself down for being frustrated. And that's it. I said I wasn't going to cry on here in this video, and here I am shedding a tear or two. But it's not sadness, it's just the frustration of it all, that at some point, and I think everyone has experienced that, you're getting your rejection letters and it's nothing personal, but as a human, eventually you start to take things personal. You start to feel a kind of way. It does get exhausting, but the fighter in me, which I appreciate my mom giving me, that is, I have to keep moving forward. I don't have the luxury to not move forward. And so this is me saying that it will get better. And I strongly believe that it will. Like, in my heart, I know that the perfect job that has the perfect environment for my mental health and that will allow me to shine in my leadership is coming. I just have to be patient and believe in all things that God will create and just keep moving. So with that, I guess walking out, they did tell me just show up tomorrow at 6. So I will begin my second week with working at McDonald's tomorrow. Have everyone else who's looking at this video, blessings, and have a great day.